very soon, the 12 lady riders who are taking part in the race on Saturday, staged under the patronage of Her Highness Sheikha Fatima bint Mubarak, will learn which horses they are to be partnered with. But first, let me introduce to you our distinguished panel, who are Jenny Haynes, Director of the Arabian Racing Organisation, Stephen Bowie, Executive Director of Invest AD, an important sponsor of this series, Stephen Higgins, Managing Director of the Racecourse Newbury. We have Her Excellency Lulwa Alawadi, who is a member of the Al Shari Council, Dr. Wadada Badra, who is consultant of the Arab Women's Council, and Khalid Al Hussein, General Youth and Sports Authorities Welfare. We'll be hearing from them all in turn in just a moment. But first, let's hear from the director of His Highness Sheikh Mansour's Festival, ladies and gentlemen, Lara Sawaya.
Thank you. First of all, we want really to thank you all for being here with us today. It's been a very big privilege that for years and years, racing in UK has been great, improving a lot comparingly to previous years in Arabian racing. This year, it's a challenge for us to overcome too many little things that we were not very pushed up previously for the Arabian horses. And eventually, with the festival of His Highness Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and with different media in the UK, like for example, Racing Post, we have turned agreements that this year, and we can see the colors of all the Arabian owners are in the Racing Post. Thank you, Racing Post. And the aim of this festival is, first of all, I would like to give you the welcoming of Her Highness Sheikha Fatima bint Mubarak to all of you today. She's very thankful for all of you and for these girls to come from all over the world to participate in the biggest world championship in the world for 20,000 euro per race. And we have a full runner, 12 runners, and we have a professional jockey today also, Salima Taliai from Oman, and all the other jockeys that are here with us today. That covers all the world, and we really thank you girls for coming here to the UK, because Newbury is a great race course, and eventually every one of us is very enthusiastic to see how you're going to do on that race day. Veronica Aske, who was the winner last year, is here also today. Good luck for you today, also to keep your title for this UK race. We want to thank also Racing UK for being with us, Abu Dhabi TV, every single media that are here today. The aim today is to say two things. I will cut it short. I'll keep the other words for our guests, and then we will take the run. There is today you are all live on on Streamline on our website, www.sheikhmansourfestival.com. Everybody now is watching this press conference, and we are live from today. Every time we have something to do with anything regarding the His Highness Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan Global Arabian Horseback Racing Festival, we will be live, and everybody can see the events we do or the races. They can tune, see any world conference that's going to happen in a few days in Toulouse, which we are very proud to organize in the world for the 4th year. And we can say one thing, that after France, it's going to be, we are announcing now, it's going to be UK. UK will be hosting the 5th World Arabian Horse Racing Conference here at Royal Garden Hotel, with the cooperation, of course, the race day at Newbury. And I'm going to tell one more thing, which they don't know, is that for the first time they will have a Sheikh Zayed Cup, Jenny.
Thank you.
Yes. Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan Cup, our prestige cup. It's going to be held for the first time next year along with Sheikh Fatima bint Mubarak Ladies World Championship IFA, and of course the World Arabian Horse Racing Conference that will be held here at the Royal Garden in the very big ballroom, which will host 400 guests from the world. So you will have 400 people that are already lovers of Arabian horses. They will sit under one roof in the UK to support the Arabian horses, and of course without you, our main media that are very supportive to us, we cannot do it alone. We need your support, and thank you for being here today. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Lara. Fascinating revelation there with new racing at the racecourse in Newbury, and that the World Conference will be here at the Royal Garden Hotel. We'll talk to each of our panellists in turn in just a moment, but I'd like to talk first to Stephen Bowie. Stephen, InvestAD, a very important partner in this. There must be commercial reasons to be involved in an event like this, but talking to some of the girls here, there must also be very important social reasons for providing opportunities for young women to learn and to travel through sport.
Well, there are a number of reasons, and you've touched on some of them. The one is, if you like, cultural, and it is wonderful for us to be able to sponsor a series that celebrates the Arabian horse, which is of course a very important cultural part of the Middle East, and which we believe is something that one should take globally. So that's one reason. The other reason is indeed that we offer opportunities, both I think in this case for the riders, and you mentioned that, but also I think for trainers, encouraging trainers and encouraging breeders of the Arabian horse, and that of course is we feel a contribution that we're making both to the sport and of course generally culturally. And maybe I could add one other thing is that as a sponsor you try to look for something that's a bit unique, something that's a bit different, something that is growing, and this festival has grown enormously fast in the last 4 years that we've been privileged to be associated with it. And then also it needs to be something, to paraphrase Heineken, that reaches places that other sponsorships don't reach. And it's very interesting to see this, for example, the festival growing in the UK. And of course it's a great privilege to be here and to be part of that. So yeah, there are a number of reasons that all work together and have worked together very well for us as a sponsor over the past 4 years.
And opportunities too for trainers, and we've got some of the top trainers here today. So Al-Hakmani, Georgina Ward is here, who we'll talk to in just a moment or two. Khalid Al-Hussein, opportunities for young people through sport is particularly important.
I have a formal speech.
Yes, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, greetings. I have the honor to convey to the greeting of His Highness Sheikh Hayyan bin Mubarak Al Hayyan, Minister of Culture, Youth and Community Development, Chairman of General Authority of Youth and Sports Welfare, and his confirmation that the UAE government has paid special attention to the sport of Arabian horses, as well as for women's sports. The continuous achievements of His Highness Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Hayyan, Deputy Chairman and the Council of Ministers and Minister of Presidential Affairs, Global Arabian Flat Racing Festival, locally and abroad, would have never succeeded or realized any development or continuity without the personal support of His Highness Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Hayyan, including the many important competitions that are hosted and organized here in UK, like Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Hayyan Cup and His Highness Sheikh Fatima bint Mubarak Ladies World Championship IFA. I also would like to extend my thanks and appreciation to our host in UK who did their utmost to make this event possible. In conclusion, my thanks and appreciation to His Highness Sheikh Fatima bint Mubarak, Mother of the UAE, for her support and care and follow-up to boost UAE women's sports at all levels. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Khalid Al-Hussein. We heard there about praise for obviously the generosity of His Highness Sheikh Mansour, but also the celebration of the Arabian horse. Jenny Haynes, the Arabian Racing Organisation, we've already got the Arabian racing season here in the UK off to a great start with the support of His Highness Sheikh Mansour.
Yes, I must say, I'd actually prepared something to say, but Lara's just taken, well, I lost the words, and that doesn't usually happen very often, so to hold the conference here, and also to have Shahzad down the Iron Cup will be fantastic for us. So everything I've written down here is probably going to be, yeah.
And I think she has to put a listed cup, because it will be the first listed cup for Sheikh Zayed Cup to be built up here in the UK.
No, we started our season 2 weeks ago, and again under the directive of His Highness Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan Global Arabian Flat Racing Festival, we actually managed to reopen the Hereford Racecourse. We are there for 5 meetings this time, which is a big thing for us. You know, we've been going for it for 30 years, but actually with the support we get, it's fantastic. So yes, we're very lucky to be part of that festival.
Thank you, and that support will continue throughout the Arabian racing season here. Your Excellency, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to welcome you here. Have you something that you would like to say to our guests?
Yes, first of all, good morning for everybody here. In such a beautiful day, if anybody asks me why, my answer is because we are all together here. So ladies and gentlemen, I don't have anything to add to the previous words my colleague have been said today. But I would like to thank Sheikh Fatma bint Mubarak, the mother of Emirates, as my colleague mentioned in his speech, for her efforts towards Emirates women and her help with all what she can to all women among all Arabian countries. Without her, we wouldn't be here today with you, sharing with, first of all, Ms. Lara about this big event which held it in the United Kingdom. Her initiative, Her Highness Sheikh Fatma, shows a vision which campaign between past and present for a beautiful future, and to revive the Arab heritage and Arab interest in the horses, and encourage women to horses support, as was explained by Ms. Lara in previous. As I am an Arabian woman who work in the area of women achievement, I am proud and happy for all the care Sheikh Fatma bint Mubarak, and for attending. First, for I thank Her Highness Sheikh Fatma bint Mubarak, and second, because I am here with you sharing this event. I would like to thank also all those who involved in the preparation and presentation, which gets better every time, as it is explained by Ms. Lara previous, because every event we attend, we show that there is something different and something surprise for us day by day and monthly by monthly. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Salima is here today, and she'll be riding at Newbury on Saturday, the first female jockey to be granted a jockey's license in the UAE, representing the Sultanate of Oman. That must encompass for you, Dr. Badran, the support of Her Highness Sheikh Fatma Mubarak.
Well, actually, let me first say that it's an honor and a pleasure for me to be with you and at activities related to the championship organized by Her Highness Sheikh Fatma bint Mubarak, which I think is now a landmark in women sports, and actually one of the objectives of Her Highness's initiative to organize such an event was devotion to the cause of women in sports. And if we review what were the objectives of this championship, we will find that she was very keen on enhancing the status of women. Sheikha Fatma is a pioneer in enhancing the status of women in the United Arab Emirates and in the Arab region in different fields, whether we are speaking about political, a wide range from political to sports. And I think that organizing this championship is a pioneer initiative on her part on the global level. Actually, Her Highness Sheikha Fatma regards women's sports as a change agent which has multiplying effects on the community at large, and I think this championship is a step in the right direction. And I would really like to thank Her Highness for all what she has done for women through her support and dedication, and she has really had an imprint on the development of Arab women in different fields, and I would like to show our appreciation for Her Highness. And we always pray that Her Highness, the Mother of the Nation, the Mother of the Arab women at large, will have different initiatives which will have landmarks which are manifested globally.
Dr. Badran, thank you very much. The lady riders are itching to know which horses they will be riding. But before we make the draw, let's just turn our attention a little bit to the race day itself. Stephen Higgins, Managing Director of the Racecourse Newbury, that is providing the stage for this event. And Stephen, what a stage, the biggest day of the flat racing season for the racecourse.
Yes, thank you, Philip, and we're delighted to be staging the race. I think we remember this time last year when we were talking about the JLT Lockheed Stakes and Frankel performing. I think the attendance that day, there were around about 14,000 people at the racecourse, and I think they had just as much fun watching this race as they did seeing Frankel win. So we were delighted for that, and obviously Veronica won and became the first lady and jockey to win the series at Newbury, so we were delighted, and hopefully we'll see how she gets on along with the other competitors. Around about 90% of Arabian races that are staged in the UK at UK racecourses on thoroughbred cards are staged at Newbury, and we're very, very interested, passionate and supportive of the Arabian Racing Organisation and this series, and we're delighted to be involved in this race and hear that the conference is coming to the UK next year, so thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Stephen. The Racecourse Newbury, the home of Arabian racing here in the UK. Lara, with your permission, we'll now make the draw. Would you like the ladies to join you on the
stage?
Yes,
but I would like to say a small thing for the guests, that His Highness Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan Global Arabian Horse Racing Festival, under the directives of His Highness Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed, we have opened a great field on endurance racing also. And now we are the main sponsors of Compiègne 160 km, the last race before the World Equestrian Games that will take place in Normandy next year. This race will be on the 24th of May. It's under the sponsorship of Sheikh Mansour Festival. And also we are the main sponsors with Al Shaqab from Qatar. We are the main sponsors of the World Championship Endurance Junior and Young Riders. So this will take place in Tarbes, in France, on 27 July 2013. So now the road is open. It's not more, we've been organizing endurance racing in the UAE, in Abu Dhabi, main races of endurance racing, but now we open globally under the directives of Sheikh Mansour, and we are in the main platform of endurance racing of the world, which will host the World Championship, and this will be the last 160 kilometers at Compiègne. The last 160 before last year is, if they are not, they did not finish the 150 and they're not qualified for the 160, they cannot ride at the World Equestrian Games. So this is the final race for the world.
The final opportunity to qualify for the World.
It's called the Nation Cup of Compiègne Mondial.
And details of all these races and these race series, they're all on the website, aren't they? They're all
yes,
on the
they will be. We're gonna host a huge press conference because His Highness Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan Global Arabian Horse Racing Festival. We have a new partnership. We're announcing it from Galerie Lafayette in Toulouse. This is very big, huge for lovers, horse lovers, and especially the Arabian lovers. Arabian horse racing lovers. And the big partnership will be on May 21st. The horse and the jockey will be in Lafayette for 20 days. Plus, so many things gonna happen. This never happened entirely in the entire world. The horse with a jockey, of course, not the real horse, but we are having Mizna, which is the one of the big horses that made a huge turnout with a big landmark, like in racing. She's the incredible Mizna, but in a prototype with one of the jockeys as a prototype. They're going to be there at Lafayette for 20 days from 21st of May.
Another world first for the Sheikh Mansour Festival. Just before we make the draw, finally, Laura, just tell us a little bit about the final in Abu Dhabi in November, where we may well see some of these ladies there.
Yes. First of all, this final this year is a little bit different because we are hosting a new conference for the first time in the world. It's called Her Highness Sheikh Fatma bint Mubarak EARS, which is European Association for Racing Schools Training and Education Conference. This will be the first time ever for this kind of conferences that are really related to jockeys, to racing, and apprentice jockeys. Last year we introduced one race which was in the name of Her Highness Sheikh Fatma bint Mubarak EARS Apprentice Jockey Race. It was the first time with a full field of 12 jockeys. We had 19 countries that were in Abu Dhabi, and this year will be around 26 countries that will cover mostly all the world. We covered the world. But Abu Dhabi will be hosting every single girl that participated in the series will be in Abu Dhabi on November 6th. They will reach all the guests. We will have around 400 guests from all over the world, which you are invited today officially because we've taken all their names. You are going all to Abu Dhabi from 5 to 11 November. You will be you will take part of this big event, which is the conference, for 2 days, and then the final will be on November 10 at Abu Dhabi Equestrian Club. We will have 14 runners. So you have 11 jockeys. They are winners to go to Abu Dhabi, and there will be 3 jockeys for Sheikh Mansour to choose from the world. It can be either professional or amateur. It's a ladies' race. This everybody should know. This event and this World Championship is not for only amateurs. It's for ladies. The professional is there and the amateur is there. It's one race. It can be an apprentice girl also. The main thing is that all these ladies join under one roof, which is the World Championship Series. This makes them strong, makes them they have more ability, they have more will to win. And we want to say a small thank you for all the jockey clubs, for all their amateur clubs, because we have 50,000 euro to distribute to 5 clubs in the world, that these girls, because they take points. Every time they join, there's a 5 points for every girl. The girl, if she wins, she gets 8 points. The second runner will have a 7. The third runner in the race will have a 6 point. All the others will take 5. Their jockey club at the end, their amateur club at the end, or if she is professional, it goes to her jockey club. This goes back to the club itself, and then the money will be given to the clubs to support ladies in the world. And this was the vision of Sheikh Fatma bint Mubarak, for these clubs to support more ladies to stay in racing and compete.
A wonderful initiative, and what a wonderful invitation to us all to join Laura Sawyer in
That's why he
November.
took the names today, and we want to make sure that you're all invited there. Even Racing UK, you're top on the list.
And a fabulous spectacle it is, a fabulous spectacle. Ladies, would you like to come and join us on the stage? a wonderful experience for them as well to go and compete at venues around the world. I know that Alexandra, who joined us,
Okay, can you introduce them, please?
her first visit to the UK, and I'm not sure.
Only just to that she is between all the. Thank you, guys.
So the ladies taking part in the series are Lara Legray, representing.
Before 1 minute, I need to emphasize on something. If I can have Pat with you a little bit, just to talk a little bit about the races, because you asked in Abu Dhabi, there's certain conditions where he can talk about. Pat is the racing director of Abu Dhabi Equestrian Club.
And Pat Buckley, of course, will recognise making a fairly rare visit here to the UK after riding the winner of the 1963 Grand National, having led in the winner of every Dubai World Cup we've had, I think, and got a very good name check on Channel 4 Racing this year. Pat, welcome.
You've been watching too much television films. Yes. Yeah, I've been in racing for all my life, really. And apart from my career as a professional jockey, which extended up to 20 years, more recently, the past 35 years, I've been attempting to help perform and operate the racing in the Middle East, particularly in Abu Dhabi, with the help of His Highness Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed, and previously, of course, His Highness Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan, who was my original employer. Racing is very much off the ground now, and now as we progress with all the support and the various sponsors who love the Arab racing, and thanks to Her Highness Sheikh Fatima bin Mubarak for the ladies' involvement, it's absolutely wonderful.
And you've seen that growth, you've been a part of that growth, and the event that we're talking about now, the ladies' races, are particularly important.
Most important because Her Highness has wished to promote the ladies not only in the United Arab Emirates, but the ladies throughout the world. And it really is a great honour to have Salima here, because she was the first ever Arabian professional jockey. First ever, not just in the Middle East, but the first ever Arabian professional jockey to get a license. Salima.
Congratulations, Salima. And Salima has ridden at the racecourse at Newbury before. She rode in an amateur's race last year, but her most recent success was of the qualifier in Germany 2 weeks ago, and congratulations to Salima on that. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about the individual races and the race conditions?
Yeah, sorry. The racing, we tried to shape the races to suit particular ladies, because as you can see, there's some big ones and some little ones and some fatter ones than other ones, you know. So basically, we try to give everybody a fair chance of taking part in these races, and without having to have too much punishment like sauna baths and running. And I know a couple of the girls this morning have been out running in the park. That's just how serious they are about it, you know.
All keen to get into shape for Saturday's race. We'll introduce them in just a moment. We have got a couple of top trainers with us here, as I said earlier, Salim Al-Hakmari and also Georgina Ward. Will be talking to them. We've got Gary Capewell, who is an expert on Arabian racing now, splits his time between the UK and the UAE.
Yes.
Will get his thoughts.
And he was always in Abu Dhabi Equestrian Club.
We'll get Gary's
He never
thoughts.
made interview with me.
on
Not always, but not to us, but.
Laura, that's my
Yeah.
privilege to interview you, you know that.
Well, we'll get Gary's thoughts on where the pace in the race might come from once we've partnered the ladies with the horses, and so we'll now move these.
I would like
horses into
to
the
say
middle.
one thing, that we will not take part in the draw.
Okay.
We will ask, you have the list, please, of your